Okay, so Perek Hamishim Mishnah Yud, fifth Perek of Pirke Avoth. We are up to Mishnah 10. Arba midot ba'adam. There are four types of people. Ha'omer sheli sheli v'shelach sheli. There are those who have a feeling, sheli sheli, what I got is mine. Shelach sheli. Everything you got is also mine. Right? So, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Sheli sheli v'shelach shelach. There are those who say, sheli sheli v'shelach shelach. Right? What is mine, and what is yours is yours. So, ze midah benonit. This is an average person.
Or Sodom.
V'yesh omrim zo midat Sodom. Some say it's midah Sodom. Now we're going to see mefarshim. Right? The truth of the matter is, I think it depends how you take it. If you take it as a general rule, okay. But if you really want to be very, very strict about it, what's mine, mine, and what is yours, yours. Be very, very strict. Right? It says Rashi, regarding a similar thing, Noel delet b'fnei chesed. Right? He's never going to do chesed.
It's mine.
The truth of the matter is more than that. The truth of the matter is, if I say, is this person, poor, I have to help him, let me see, did he really do his best to find a job? Now, maybe his best is not the same as what I think is best. Obviously, there are halachot, and it's very, very correct. We do not want to support where we shouldn't. We do not, somebody who doesn't deserve it. But in everything in life, if you want to put everybody under a microscope, everybody will have a shortcoming somewhere, here and there, right? So therefore, if you want to be so strict, that could be midat sedum. Sheli shelach or shelach sheli. If somebody says, mine is yours and yours is mine, right? I'm ready to swap my wallet with you anytime. Right? Such a person is Am Ha'aretz. Such a person is not a very learned person. He's not a very, very learned person. See, you see a lot of people in the world who think they are singled out for certain problems in life. Truth of the matter is, it's very, very difficult. But sometimes you hear some people that, we think their life is so good. They got it made. They got everything right. And you hear the types of problems they have. Once in a while, perhaps I'm in a position more than anybody else to know. It's very difficult to know. Somebody this week, I heard, and I couldn't believe it. All my life, I thought, what? They have this going okay with him. That's going okay. But then you hear what they're struggling with, and sometimes it's just not worth it, and it's so difficult. It's so difficult. Somebody who is so quick to say that he would change his lot with anybody else or with somebody else, he's a Mars. He's not a very thinking, very learned person. He's looking at surface. Right? I was talking to someone, my shul, so telling him about my schedule. So I said one night, I was talking about a certain night. I said, I had 3 sessions of Shalom Bayit issues back to back. I was there in the shul till 11:30 p.m. 3 different people. There's 3 different issues. So he's like, I didn't know there are so many issues in our shul. I'm like, what? They should come and tell you. Right? Hopefully, I'm at a position that it's my job to try to help at least. But
anybody has Shalom Bayit?
Right? So, people usually don't know. They don't realize. They don't pick up. So they always think everybody else has got it better. That type of a person is really, Mishnah calls it Am Ha'aretz. You're not thinking. You're not using your brain. You have to know, obviously, that everybody has their own challenges. Everybody has their own things. It's just that, you may not know about it. You may not know about it. And there's another thing also. If we do find out, that's very important. They say the whole story about the bird that wanted the other birds, whatever. You sometimes when you listen to other people's problems, you see that I could never deal with that problem. I could never deal with that issue. A challenge that Hashem has put on our path, usually we could handle it. Usually there are certain tools, certain support system, or whatever the case is. As difficult as it is, I don't want to. A lot of things are difficult. They're challenges. But sometimes we hear other people's challenges, and that seems impossible. So that's the second level of Amharis. First of all is Amharis that he thinks that nobody else has got the challenge. But even if he thinks, I'll take other people's challenges, that's also another Amharis, that he doesn't get it. You may not do so well. That you may not even do as well as them. But they're dealing with the challenge.
Probably they have the tools to deal with it. We don't have the tools to deal with that, but we have the tools to deal with our
That's
own.
exactly what I just said. That's exactly right. So I'm saying that's his second level of Amharatzut. That he thinks, I rather his problem. He doesn't know that, you think he's handling his problem, and you don't know that he's handling it because that's his problem, and the way you handle it is your problem. Good. Shali shalach v'shalach shalach. Right? That person who is able to be generous, the person who is able to be generous with everything. The generosity of a spirit is more than generosity of money. Truth of the matter is. And you're able to give up. And you're able to forget and forgive. You know what? Fine. Oh, it's okay. Even though maybe I do not expect that he will do the same, he will be as forgiving. So that's shalish. That's shalish shalach v'shalach shalach. Right? I don't expect you necessarily to be as benevolent, as generous, but I am. So that is chassid. That's somebody who has the wherewithal to stand on his own.
Would you like to have a son like that?
Gemara in the Darim says that the question is that somebody may nether, two people may nether against each other or whatever. So one, Gemara talks about two types of a person that is constantly giving. Let's say he gives gift to the other person, but he is not willing to accept. I come to your son's birthday and to the bar mitzvah and to the wedding, and I'll bring gifts, but I'm not going to take gifts from you. That's one person. He's not going to take gifts. Or the other person, I expect to come, right, be at the wedding, have a good time, enjoy the food, enjoy the music, but I'll never bring and I'll never invite you to any of my thing either. Right? So Gemara says two very interesting things. Right? If I would ask you what's the opposite of king, what would you say?
Opposite of king? Queen.
So Gemara says the second one, you could say, no, I'm sorry, I cannot have a friendship with you. I cannot have a relationship or friendship with you because love malkana. I'm not a king who has endless, unlimited availability and resources. You want to come to my parties, to my wedding, whatever, but there is no reciprocity. You never reciprocate, so it doesn't work. I'm sorry. Love malkan. Only a king could do such a thing. A king has unlimited resources. He could have a one-way relationship, just a giving relationship. I get it. So the other way around. If the person says, "Look, I come, I give you gifts, no, but I'll never take any gifts from you," So that's the opposite. He says, love kalban. The opposite of king, barminan, is a kelev. So I'm not a dog that you constantly want to give me something. A dog takes and takes and takes and
Where
takes.
do we get that from?
Right, in the Gemara. Gemara in the Daya. Right.
Yes,
A person should not have that attitude either.
Philosophy. What's the philosophy?
Right? What's the philosophy of the dog?
Dog is a man's best friend.
That's what it is. Dog is there just to be a friend.
Take care.
Just to be a friend. So, be that as it may. So at any rate, the answer to your question, would I want my son to be like that? If one thinks that he's being malka, one thinks, look, I am just giving and giving and giving and giving. No, you shouldn't be like that. Because then eventually he will get hurt and it will be detrimental. It will be abused. But if someone has the wherewithal to feel like a king, one has the wherewithal, look, let's not talk about money for a second, then we could translate it to money. I don't need him to come and give me encouragement. I could stand on my own. I feel good about myself. I have a good self-image, so I don't need someone to come tell me, good job. But I'll go tell him good job every day. It's not because he feels, I'm giving, I don't get anything back. He feels, I have what to give. I have that, he truly feels king in this area. I don't need his help. I have a very healthy self-image. I do feel encouraged. I don't need necessarily external encouragement, but I do go give him encouragement. If one has that feeling, then that's what the word chassid means. Chassid means he could stand on his own without other people's. So when it comes to everything, is like that. Not monetarily. Obviously, we're not talking about somebody cannot afford it. Right? It all has to do with whether he has that confidence and comfort.
Whatever I have, let's say I have $1 billion, what is for you?
Because
he's
so confident in himself.
Yeah, if I
he's so confident in his own ability. So tomorrow also make money.
I would be poor if I give you.
No, I'll make money. He's confident in his own abilities. If that's how he feels, like this will not break me. If that's how he feels, this will not break me.
I mean, I would definitely tell my son not to be like that.
Depends. I just explained to you.
I don't think to somebody else.
I don't think it's an absolute rule. I do agree with you that most people are not there, are not at the level of chassid. I understand that's what chassid means. Chassid. If I have a son, when he comes home, he feels good that he gave him his lunch, and he's not all so hungry that he's screaming at his siblings in the carpool, and he had a whole bad afternoon in the school because he felt hungry. He had that wherewithal. I'll be fine. I could skip a meal and be fine. If he has the wherewithal to be like that, I wouldn't mind.
Every day.
He won't work every day.
Yeah,
right?
This is saying every day.
Depends where you are. If every day he feels like that, it's also okay. You're just pointing out that it's almost impossible for somebody to feel like that every day.
That's right.
So how much as much as they feel,
yeah,
as much as they feel, it's just look. The Mishnah is talking to everybody. The Mishnah is talking to everybody. The Mishnah is talking to me, who have worked on myself limitedly, and the Mishnah is talking to the Gedolim, who have worked on themselves so endlessly also. If somebody is holding by doing it every day, then there is no problem with them
either.
either.
An example like that person.
Yeah, I told you. My, Orosh Rabbi Newberger, I told you this story. There was this person, I said this another time. There was this person in Baltimore. He used to write things. We have it over here also. Publish things against Rabbi Newberger. Zecher Tzadik Yivach. Bad mouth him, this and that. So then this person fell ill, became sick, needed real care. So Rabbi Newberger worked. I mean, he always was like that. No, Rabbi Newberger, he heard somebody needs help. He never waited for anyone to ask him for help. My father got, whatever, he had an accident. I never went to him. He heard from somebody, he called me, okay, who are the doctors? Give me the name of the doctors. I'll send you the back doctor. That's who he was. That's how he was. He had connections and he used them.
Oh.
Right? He always helped.
So this is what
Senator Makowski said people could never say no to him because he never wants anything for himself. So usually they say you have a capital, you have a bunch of favors to ask from this senator. You can't go back again and again and again. So those rules didn't apply to Rabbi Neuberger because not once did he use it for himself, for his own benefit.
When he was niftar, when they came to his house, all the senators, they said, "This is it."
Right? They couldn't believe it.
This is all
right.
he
So
had.
at any rate, so he went out of his way finding him the best doctors, finding the best kid, taking him to the hospital. He used all his contacts to help this person who had, for years, we would have said was a thorn in his side, thorn in Rabbi Neuberger's side. So some of the people in Yeshiva were why this guy has been so disrespectful and everything for years, and now he's helping him. So they asked his son of Shagi. So to be honest with you, I had the same question. I wasn't happy about it either. So I asked him. He said, "But he's not even there." He said, "To my father, the world is so great. There's so much opportunity to do well. He doesn't dwell on the fact that today somebody wrote an article against him. What, I'm going to waste my time, my passion, my energy, my head, my nerves to read what somebody wrote about me and feel bad so I can't, I'll be dysfunctional for next an hour and a half?" He said he's so aware of his own abilities, of how much he could impact the world, that these things are so non-existent to him. He said, even if you talk to him about this guy, not that he doesn't know, he's not an idiot, he knows that he wrote about this thing, but he never cut him that deep, because he's so, and that's what Rambam writes. Rambam writes, one realizes how shallow these little things are, because at the end of the day, they are in this world, and in this world I have an opportunity to impact eternity. Anybody who distracts me only distracts me very momentarily, not eternally. That's what it is. He realizes, sound like Rabbi Neuberger, he realizes, look, every minute I am in this world, I could create eternity, I could create Nitzchut. Anybody who gives me a hard time only momentarily. It's not in Nitzchut. So that becomes a joke all of a sudden. So by him, yes, he could do it. He could do it. It's a non-issue. Now, it's a non-issue. It's a non-issue. He doesn't even notice. Right? So again, is everybody there? No. But I'm just saying everybody is at least where they are on their own. Where they are on their own.
So this is what it means.
Now we're going to see Rambam. But that's what it means.
What are possessions?
Because again, if you feel like that, you're in possessions. You're in possessions. Look.
Not part of my possessions for you.
No,
all of my possessions for you.
You read the book All for the Boss?
Yeah.
Rabbi Yaakov, you should read. You should read. Highly, highly recommended. He was a big businessman. He lost he was a huge businessman in his time. In the crash of 1929, stock crash of 1929 in the United States, he lost almost everything. So he goes and he figures out how much he owes and this and that, and of his vast wealth, he had about $1,000 left. So he writes a check for $1,000, sends it to Yeshiva in Europe. Because he was afraid, what am I going to do? I have all this wealth and I didn't do enough tzedakah with it. Even though he gave a world of tzedakah all the time he did. But that was his biggest fear at that time. You know what I mean? It wasn't like anybody told him. It wasn't. That was his fear. You know, somebody you lose the stock market. You feel a stock market went down. What is the first thing I think about? Am I gonna pay my mortgage next month? That was the first thing that came to his mind. You know, I'm going to be standing before Hashem certain time, and it will have to do with my eternity. Have I done enough for my eternity?
I'm sure he didn't tell his wife.
Right? What?
It would create a big fight.
No. Somebody asked.
Don't mean it as a joke.
Somebody asked the wife. Somebody asked the wife a couple of months after the crash. How do you go through life now that your husband's situation? So I don't even know what you're talking about. So my husband used to give me $10 a week for expenses. He still gives you the same $10 a week. Nothing has changed for me. He had that, you know, he had that confidence, that self-assurance. You know, obviously, to begin with, he didn't have a very extravagant lifestyle when he had the money. And when he didn't have the money, he wasn't so scared, you know, to truly deprive his family either. She didn't feel anything. Right, we are talking about Yechidei Segula, obviously. We are talking about, it's not everybody. But, you know, all these things that we learn, it's important we learn it to know, you know, where it is that ultimate perfection there could be. Once you have a goal, you know where to walk. That's right. You have a path in front of you. Now, the important thing in life is that we're taking steps.
Yeah, maybe 80 years from now.
Right. And I don't think you ever get there. No, because wherever you get, there is more. Even right now, we see that to be the goal. When you get near it, you see there could even be a bigger goal. But that's the greatness of it. That's the truth. You know, I don't want to get into that, but Kedoshim tiyu ki ani kadosh Hashem Elokechem. Be kadosh because I Hashem am kadosh. And Hashem wants to tell us to be kadosh. Fine, so we're kadosh.
Right.
What does it mean because I'm kadosh?
Limitless.
That's right. Just like Hashem is infinite, our abilities is infinite. Our abilities is infinite. Right? Any area you look at, how much potential Hashem has created. Someone just send me an email. You know, your son is good at Rubik Cubic, right? If I tell you somebody could fix a Rubik Cubic just with his left hand, so, right? It's hard to believe, yeah? You probably believe me that somebody could train himself after years of training. But if I told you someone could fix a Rubik Cubic a few minutes with his feet, between the 2 feet, he turns it and he fixes it. What if I tell you he does it both together? Right? What if I tell you now that that's only a 7-year-old kid? 7-year-old kid, right? Puts his right hand behind his back. He's fixing one Rubik Cubic with his hand. Same time, fixing another Rubik Cubic with his feet. 2 minutes fixes both. Less even. So what does that mean? That means the human capacity is infinite. Hashem created His infinity, He created into ourselves also. That's what Hashem is saying. He could have told us be kadosh, but you have to know our kedusha, you know, our level of growth has to be endless also. There's always room to grow. Right? Important thing is that we are growing. We are not going stagnant. Okay.
So what's the right way of being good?